Okay, thank you. Good afternoon and welcome to the special meeting of the Grand Exempted Village School District Board of Education. Would you please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please stand up.
Mr. James?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Dr. Foreman? Here. Mr. Wolf?
Here.
We are now at the portion of our agenda where we welcome public comments. If anyone has any comments, please step to the podium and share your thoughts. Seeing none, we'll move on.
Okay, the first action agenda item is the approval of the MSA contract with the school board.
So moved.
Second. MSA will be providing the engineering or architect and engineering services for the athletic complex.
And that's for the
We have-
entirety of the complex.
Yeah. Joe Kyle from MSA here
Hello,
is our
sir.
point of contact, so he is here to represent that.
Does anyone have questions, comments, discussion?
So these two contracts that really cover the project, one is the engineering, the other one is the construction phase itself.
Construction manager,
Right.
yes.
How are the expenses of these divvied out or accounted for, at least amongst the public-private partnership? And how do we kind of like fit those?
So I'll go into that actually in the
Yeah,
next
that's-
item.
yeah, let's do that.
So,
Should we then combine, you want to combine both for approvals? or you
No,
want to
just
do
one.
just one? Okay, all right. Any other questions about the MSA? No. Okay.
Dr. Foreman? Yes. Mr. Wolf?
Aye. Yes. I'm for it.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Denise?
Aye, thank you.
thank you. Okay, the next item is the approval of the construction manager for the athletic stadium project as Robertson Construction.
So moved.
Okay, I'll wait until
Okay.
Amy comes on in.
Sorry.
No, that's just fine.
All right. These are tough ones to get after school stuff.
Yeah.
So we have a motion and a second on the approval of the construction manager, Robertson Construction. We have Christian Robertson in the room here. So they are the construction manager for the entire project and will oversee all aspects of the construction process. And the way, Thomas, your question from an invoicing standpoint, as the construction manager, Robertson will invoice us in a way that we can actually allocate for the public side of the equation and the private side. So it will be all done through an invoicing process that they're aware of, that will be able to show our community the transparency between the public and private dollars. So just to give you a little bit of context to the process, we received 3 proposals, and the lowest and best proposal that we received was Robertson. And basically what you're doing is authorizing me to negotiate a contract to present at the August 21st board meeting so that you'll have actual numbers associated with the project.
So at this point, for neither of these action items, there's numbers associated with the contract or any?
There are general numbers associated with the 602, but we still have further work to do to refine them.
Right.
So that we
So
can,
say what we can and make sure the scope is appropriate to
Correct.
manage the project as best we can.
yes.
Do we have an agreed upon process with the private contributions going through the athletic boosters for how they'll process their invoices and pay them as well?
So basically what they're going to do is they're going to secure a loan and gift that over time to us. So that the money is all coming through us, but they're going to secure separate funding.
Okay, so we'll reconcile all the invoices and make sure they're appropriately signed to the right buckets. Okay.
Exactly.
And I should ask before, the 6.01, is that entirely public funds that support that engineering and architecture work that is for the planning of the project?
So the funds for the MSA contract and the general contractor are kind of the general costs associated with the entire project. So we're going to, navigate the conversation about what bucket those come out of as we, get the higher, or the numbers associated.
And that's funding, is more clear what the language of that is and how that shuffles going, so.
MSA had done the big picture for us.
Yes,
So-
a lot of work has been done up to this point
Right.
in conceptualizing all of that work, so that we can get to the point of getting the construction manager on board, so that we can actually get bid numbers at some point here soon.
Are these both done generally as a percentage of the overall project cost?
MSA's contract is more percentage based. The general, or the construction manager is usually bid and,
Yes.
how would you describe it?
So the way that it ultimately ended up happening was Joe's firm, MSA, put a set of drawings together. Mr. Brown said there had been 3 people that did the job apparently. And so there are 3 lump sum numbers
All right, see ya.
over the next couple weeks with continued refinement of the drawings. The number could ebb and flow.
Yeah.
But at that point, you'll enter into a lump sum number for the construction side. And we'll develop 2 schedule values for invoicing purposes based on what you all need. So there'll be one distinct sheet that will show the items that fall under the board's track proper, and then the balance will be beyond those limits for your purposes. And then anything that were to change after that point, adductively or deductively, would be handled through a change order process. And the contract allowed for percentages of markup and so forth. So that's all predetermined over and above cost. So.
And along with cost, timing is important, and I've got lots of plans around that and so forth, and I'm sure that's in process, and we're still roughly on schedule for when
We are in a
next year.
very tight window.
Yeah.
That's why we're having a special board meeting to maximize
Fantastic.
time that they have to get the ball rolling. This is a challenging project because bleachers need to go up, work needs to be done on the track and the field, and then as well as time it with the locker room construction, so, and concession renovation. So it's a tight time frame. That's why we believe that the role of the construction manager is the best role, because they can manage all the pieces and parts and time that well so that we can save on budget and on time.
Great. And changes are the killers to those things and so
Well,
forth.
there are things you can't control.
Yeah.
Weather is one of them. So, obviously weather has been very unpredictable the last 2 years. And then the other side of that is, once you actually excavate the area, what are the soils like? You've done some geotechnical work prior to, that gives us some level of comfort. But again, you always have to build some contingency for, areas that are not what you think they are, once you take that work, or that couple of levels off. Yeah.
And I assume there's a couple of big subcontractors that are pretty critical in the timing of it, so yes, you got a heads up on, all right, moving forward, some options.
Do you anticipate any issues in terms of staging the subs and the trades? I know there's a lot of demand now for skilled workers in that area.
It will be somewhat of a challenge. The way the project is, first of all, 2 of the large component subcontractors had been working with the designer and the district, to develop their portions of it, that being the athletic field proper and the bleachers. And they ultimately, I'm pretty sure, but they were ultimately both the economically, because we ended up bidding it out, so there was competitive nature to it. And at first blush, they're staying on board, so that's a good thing. They know what the goal is. And they had, already been on board even before we started, just being kind of a partner with you all and helping. So that's two big components of it. The balance of it, we will self-perform a lot of areas ourselves. So we're able to control, we have 135 employees in the field. And the way that it falls through the winter, if there is any in this heated climate, good if you have something that people can work on through the winter, such as the building itself. That would have a little bit of breather in manpower during that time. But it'll be a photo finish. Even they all are.
Right.
You all just have a little added
Yeah.
time frame in mind, so it won't be over till it's over.
And traditionally, this time frame where we're at, kind of taking occupancy of this and kind of beginning the work around November. I mean, this isn't the ideal time frame, but
Sure.
this is how it works in this kind of, criteria for a stadium. So we are truly at the mercy of the weather, and if we do have a wet spring, it will have impacts on these things. But I think that we are doing our due diligence now. We're trying to get the right people on board so that people are sitting and perched and ready to go as soon as they can. So
Mother Nature will be a,
Sure.
as we alluded to, Mother Nature will be a driver because, we're in a drought right now, but,
That won't last.
yeah.
And what I would also like to point out is Robertson Construction has a long history in Lincoln County, and they've done some phenomenal projects as of recent, right
Just up the
across,
street.
right just up the street. It looks beautiful. I've toured that building multiple times. So we appreciate them, getting on this project or proposing for this project, and really, we're looking forward to this coming to fruition.
I think that's a great point. We are as well. We appreciate that. We know you also offered, even before we got to the point of the contract, you offered support inside.
We feel like on some level we'll come back home because when this stadium was kind of built 25 years ago, it was one of our early projects that your booster club got together and built cobbled together what is now the concession stand, and then poured a lot of those foundations, and football players carried the old bleachers over, and we brought the scoreboard over, and so it was I think they actually, if I remember right, they did a turf line across town, so there will probably be a few of those volunteerism, not a lot of finances, frugalness, that unknowns that will be, they did that, uncovered. So we're very excited about it. And unfortunately, Jeremy couldn't be here, had a family issue, but Jeremy and Dean Locker, our director of operations, children are both in the band, just really excited about being here in the community. And so
I think that gives a great opportunity in this construction project as well, to kind of celebrate it, right? And the fact that you've got a history with it and the local nature of it. We've got great fundraising that's very grassroots, and I know people will be excited to be engaged in many aspects of it. So if there's things that you can think of that we can help inspire the community to support, or times to come out, or ways to do, openings and things like that, I'm sure we'll work on. But, we want it to be highly visible and highly celebrated because it's a great thing that the community is stepping onto this. That's our part.
Yeah. Thank you both. We appreciate it very much. Any other questions?
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Dr. Corman? Aye. Ms. Deeds?
Aye.
Mr. Wolf?
Aye.
Mr. Janice?
Aye. And again, thank you. Is there a motion?
Second.
Ms. Deeds?
Aye.
Mr. Wolf? Dr. Corman? Aye. Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Janice?
Aye. Thank you. Dr. Corman's still waiting for you to say no.